pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, the first item on the agenda will be approval of the minutes for the meeting.
moved. Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion on this? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries 7-0. Next item will be a special report. It's going to be introduction of a new hire from Peters.
I'm going to turn it over to the chief and to Marty.
Good evening. I just want to thank you guys for allowing us to be here. I want to introduce Marguerite Rattay. She's our new social services coordinator, and she's brought a short PowerPoint to run through with everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening. I'm Margie. I'm a licensed clinical social worker, and I started on July 7th with Peters. I'm glad to be here with everybody. So I'm just going to go over a quick couple highlights of my career and what brought me here and the experience that I'm bringing to the township. So I do have a Bachelor of Social Work and Master of Social Work with certificate in Children, Youth, and Families. I am a licensed clinical social worker in the state of Pennsylvania, and I'm also bilingual in English and Spanish. Maybe not helpful here, but hopefully. So to learn a little bit about me, my career started mostly in long-term service. So I was not part of the Peace Corps, but a similar program called Francis Corps in San Jose, Costa Rica, and I was also in Mexico for a little bit in an indigenous village. I have spent an extensive amount of time with the Department of Veterans Affairs. Let me get this working. There we go. Where I primarily worked with combat veterans from Iraq and Afghanistan. I provided intensive case management services as well as treated PTSD with evidence-based protocols, so that's eye movement desensitization and reprocessing, as well as cognitive processing therapy. I also served on national committees during that time for training development, as well as I helped to develop a human trafficking initiative within the VA. So you don't always think veterans and human trafficking, but unfortunately it does happen. I also worked a lot in community partnerships during my time with the VA, so I redesigned and enhanced training for the community on veterans with PTSD. I delivered that training on a quarterly basis to local police departments in Hampton Roads, and I also facilitated training with local military bases to build and maintain our relationships with them. So I actually treated quite a few active duty service members as well during my time with the VA. Here in Allegheny County, or I guess this is Washington County, but across the line in Allegheny County, I also spent several years working in intensive mental health services for children and families. So I worked with family-based mental health services and in-home services for early intervention. And I also was a clinician with the Office of Refugee Resettlement on a care provider program for unaccompanied children. So most recently, I've been working as a supervisory case coordinator with General Dynamics. So I was partnered with the Unaccompanied Children's Bureau, so those are the children who cross the U.S. border without a legal parent or a guardian. I was leading a team of 35 to 40 child welfare specialists across the country, so my regions were Pennsylvania down to Florida, and I also had El Paso, Texas. And I was consulting on safety and risk assessment, complex clinical and medical cases, as well as safety planning. And a lot of what we were doing was interpreting government policy as it was coming in over the last couple of years and applying it as third-party reviewers to those cases for children as they were assessed for sponsorship here in the United States. So what am I bringing here to Peters is really a trauma-informed solution-focused interventions, as well as crisis intervention and stabilization, timely referrals to comprehensive community resources, and community partnerships and education. So in the last month and change, I've been working on co-response support to police and first responders. So there are instances in which I go out with police officers as they're called to scenes when they establish that it's safe. I do exit the car and engage with residents. I also respond to referrals from police officers within 24 to 48 hours. The fire department also knows how to refer cases to me. And then I'm also working to connect different residents to resources following criminal charges, so something like a DUI that would trigger me to at least contact that resident and say, hey, can I help you access recovery support, victim support from crimes, mental health crisis, housing and financial issues. And I'm also working quite a bit with Washington County, DHS, and other community partnerships to ensure that they know that I am here and I'm available to support our residents. Thank you.
That's quite a compliment to our existing department. That's impressive.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
And I know what the chief has relayed to me is that we already see the results of Margie being able to intervene in cases where the police would not be able to otherwise. And so it's early, but it seems to be working well.
Thank you.
If I may, real quick, I would like to say she has proven invaluable just in the short amount of time that we've had her. She's dealt with a couple of cases that we had absolutely no idea what to do with other than either arrest somebody or kick them to somebody that wouldn't be able to help them. And she's been able to drastically affect the outcome of how things were working with us. It's been fantastic to have her. So.
Do the residents have the opportunity to contact her directly?
Yes.
Like at the station and stuff if they have an issue?
Go ahead.
Yeah, sure. So I skipped this slide, sorry. So there are a couple of ways that they can access me because I agree that residents need to know who I am and how to get to me. So they can always call the station. I do have a direct line, but we do have other things in motion. So beginning in September, on the first Wednesday of every month, I'm going to have library walk-in clinic hours that's already on the library schedule and being advertised, where residents can essentially come in and just connect with me. And then there's also an online referral form where people just have to scan a QR code or go to the webpage and they can actually self-refer.
Do you know what would happen if someone called 911 trying to reach you? Have we had that groomed?
Officers can always reach out to me. I do have a work cell phone, and if they need me, they can get in contact with me.
Okay.
Thank you.
How are your shifts? I mean, because you can't determine when situation's going to happen. So how do you manage that?
Great question. So we're still learning, but I'm here mostly in the afternoon and evening.
Chief, do you have any idea roughly in a year how many calls in the past you've had that she would have helped out in?
Well, just extrapolating on what she's already done, I'm going to guess she's going to help us with at least several hundred to 200 to 300 calls a year.
Okay.
Like over the weekend, how many did you pull off over the weekend that you're going to do? 4 or 5? So just over those 2 days, 4 or 5 calls. It's going to be in excess of 200 or 300 calls at least this year. So, and the officers have been great about whenever they go to something that they think she needs to be a part of, they're emailing her and reaching out to her already. And or if she doesn't hear from them on a certain call, she goes through every call that we have and to see if there's something that she maybe needs to reach out for. And she's found several of those that she's been very helpful with us that she just found on her own. So I cannot say enough about having her. So I really appreciate the support in allowing us to hire her and have her be a part of the police department. It's spectacular.
And I think an important thing to note is that part of the funding for this position is coming from Washington County as part of the opioid settlement money they have. So,
Thank you.
Just wonderful.
Thank you. Welcome.
Gary, as an aside, when we met with Hampton, what the chief described was really similar instance in terms of how much use they're getting out of their social workers.
Right.
So much so I think they've actually brought on 2.
Well, that was my concern. Is she going to get a barrier?
Yeah. Well, again, what the chief described, you remember the chief from Hampton, same thing, they swear by them now because they're just trained to deal with a lot of the domestic situations they encounter.
Yeah, and the guys have accepted her so well.
Yeah.
So just been a fantastic mesh. So.
Paul, do you know whether or not if for example, if we did need to expand that program, whether we can use the settlement funds that we got from the federal government to fund that position?
no, you could not. Because you cannot use them for personnel.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought I'd ask.
No, that's a good
It's
question.
a lot of money. I mean, we've got millions. Okay.
Anything else? Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome aboard.
Pleasure meeting you.
Okay, next we move into audience comments. This is an opportunity for any member of the audience to address council on a non-agenda item for up to 5 minutes. Is there anybody in the audience that would like to address us? Come on up. If you could just state your name, address, and write your name down before you're finished. Appreciate that.
Is it okay if I write it first?
Yeah.
Okay. This is the first time I've ever done anything like this, so bear with
Good
me.
experience, relax.
State your name and where you live.
Oh, sorry. Caitlin Andrus, 311 East McMurray Road.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Good evening, members of the council. My name is Caitlin Andrus. I am a resident here in Peters Township. I'm speaking tonight not only as a concerned citizen, but a mother of 3 young children and the spouse of an active duty Marine. I want to raise awareness about the growing influence and now the reported completion of over 40% of the Project 2025, a political agenda that seeks to fundamentally reshape the federal government. While its initiative is being developed at national level, I believe it is essential that we as a local community understand how sweeping changes could eventually affect local governance, civil rights, public education, and the independence of our institution. I want to be clear, this isn't about partisan politics. My concerns are rooted in the shared principles of democracy, transparency, and inclusion, values I believe this township works hard to uphold. As someone deeply invested in not only the community, but this country, and the future my children will grow up in, I want to ensure that Peters Township remains a place where all voices are heard, protected, and respected. We often hear that all politics is local, and I believe that deeply. Real change begins at the local level. This includes how local governments use their voices and leadership to reflect the concerns of their communities, even on national issues. I believe Peters Township has the opportunity to lead by example, to stand for civic responsibility, to encourage information, public dialogue, and to speak out when the values of the democracy are at stake. I respectfully ask this council to consider how we, as a local body, can stay informed, vigilant, and prepared. That could mean encouraging open dialogue, promoting civic education, or simply making space for these discussions to happen publicly. Thank you for your time, and thank you for your continued service to our community.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else in the audience? Okay, moving on. There's no unfinished business, so we'll move into new business. First will be the setting of a date for a public hearing on a proposed revisions to the Peters Township zoning map. I believe, Mr. Lauer, you're recommending September 8th.
Yes.
Would anybody care to make a
So
motion?
moved.
Second.
Okay, motion and a second on that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I do want to point one thing out to council. The individual has the house who wishes to convert it into 2 residences, has filed a land development plan, and he's done so last week prior to this ordinance being advertised. And so we will process that as we would any application under the existing ordinance. I cannot tell you whether that application is complete, but we should be able to make that determination by the end of the week. So,
Okay. Well, we still have to do it no matter what.
yeah, that's.
All right.
Next item will be an authorization to purchase property from Washington County Tax Claim Bureau.
So moved.
Second.
Yeah, motion and a second on that. What's the price on this, like $300?
It's like $300, yeah. But it's a key little piece of property, and heaven forbid that the adjacent property be developed and that road be extended. You may find yourself with a tiny home on that property, and the township could do nothing to stop
Is this
that.
coming out of the repository?
Yeah.
So, do you need a maximum bid? Because what if somebody goes in there?
No,
and
they're gonna, I talked to the county.
They give you
It's
the
coming.
option.
There's a check in tonight's, a list of things to cover it. We're gonna go down and purchase the property.
Okay, thank you.
Very good. Okay, I think we have a motion and a second on that, so all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, carries 7-0. Payroll and bills.
Mr. Chairman, I've reviewed the payroll and bills, find them to be in order. I move they be approved as submitted.
Second.
Okay, motion and a second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 7-0. We need to talk about the correspondence.
Well, this is a picture of the intersection as of yesterday. As you can see, the wearing surface is on the intersection. They're in the process of installing the traffic signals. Their intention is to have this open on the 18th. So it would seem to me it's well within their ability to be able to do that. So.
Yeah, see, they went for the.
And so what that will do is open it up to the intersection. You'll be able to come up East McMurray Road, turn onto Thompsonville. You'll be able to go out Bebout and come up from Bebout. You will not be able to continue north on East McMurray Road. That's going to remain closed for a couple more weeks.
Will you be able to access the gas station?
Yes. Yeah, you'll be able to access the gas station, I believe, off of Thompsonville. I don't know whether you're going to, you'll be able to East McMurray too. Yeah, you'll be able to do both.
Well, it's wonderful they were able to at least get most of it done before school started.
Yes, I can tell you, Tracy, the person who handles the buses, is very pleased that this is occurring when it is.
As are all of us.
So, Paul, we've talked in the past about the traffic lanes and the ornamental versus, is that, so PennDOT decides to put those in, do we have any say whether we want an ornamental one or not?
Oh, no, council actually took a position that you did not want to pay, and it's substantially more for the ornamental. And so what we have, and PennDOT's actually assumed the cost on this, and this is going to be our standard going forward, that all the poles will be black.
Yep.
It looks nice.
Yeah, I think it's a much better looking intersection, and I would have a very difficult time justifying the fluted poles and that when you look at what the additional cost of that is.
Sure.
So can I ask you that the last few times that like PennDOT's done something like this, say at Valley Brook in 19, and even, well, I won't say the roundabout because they did beautify it, but is there going to be anything like to soften it on the edges?
Well, of course, it'll all be planted in grass around it, but on the far side, there's a stormwater management facility. Around that facility is going to be landscaping. So, for the people coming out of Bittersweet Circle, that's what they'll see on the left-hand side, a landscaped area. But up in here, they're tight against all of the properties, and so what you're going to see is grass against it.
Or weeds.
Does anybody wish to discuss anything in the board meeting minutes? Okay, seeing nothing, we're moving to miscellaneous.
In your docket is the zoning hearing board report. There are two variances. One is on Lakeview Drive requesting a variance to the front yard setback.
Is this that lot that they tried to donate to the township last year?
This lot steep over the hill.
Right.
If you look at the neighboring properties, how it's there. So yes, it's very steep. And what they want to do is pull the home closer to Lakeview Drive.
I don't have a problem with that. That's an actual hardship.
That is.
That's the definition of a hardship.
Yeah. The other one, and we need to do something with regard to this. Our interpretation of our ordinances is that equipment like generators can't be within the side yard setback. But we're having so many requests for generators at this point that we either need to reinterpret our ordinance or we need to change our ordinance to provide for these. The fact of the matter is these only go off when the power goes out. So it isn't like it's a constant noise problem.
What do we do with air conditioners?
Well,
It's the same thing.
Is it the same thing? You
Yeah.
can't have your air conditioner within 15 feet of the
Correct.
property line?
It's just that a lot of times they don't get permits when they install them,
Yeah.
so they do end up in the.
I was going to
side.
say, because I've seen a lot of air conditioners that I know are closer than 15 feet.
And I don't know this for a fact, but there's a second drawing that came with this, and that second drawing indicates that there's an air conditioner
Yes.
on that side.
Yes.
But I've not verified that out in the field, so I don't know that.
I mean,
There's no issue. I mean, the reason that's in the ordinance, does it have anything to do with any kind of issue where, I don't know, maybe that could, I don't know.
no, the way the generators are designed,
Yeah.
you can't have anything within 3 feet of it where the exhaust blows out. So it can't be within 3 feet of the house, and you can't have any structure within 3 feet of it because of the way the gas.
Okay.
And a lot
So,
of-
like what I'm saying, somebody hit it, like with their riding mower or something. Would that cause like any kind of issue where it would explode or?
No more than hitting
No.
your air conditioner.
No more hitting your gas meter, I
Yeah.
suppose, right?
Okay.
But
I mean, I don't know.
I mean, you'd have to hit it pretty fast.
I figured
mean, go with a
Mr.
long
Ross
drive.
would know.
No, you're fine, yeah.
But it's not uncommon that people's utilities are coming in to their house from the side.
Well, and
And this
particularly-
generator needs to be near that.
Particularly like most older houses, that's always where the meter was. The gas meter is always on the side of the house.
Right.
I mean, nowadays, I guess a lot of them, they put them in the front or in the back, so they try to get around this. But I don't see, if we keep the interpretation we currently have, then anyone who has that problem is going to have to go get a variance, right?
That's right. And we're making people spend money that
Right,
they,
which
quite
we
frankly,
shouldn't
I
be.
don't think is fair. So we're going to look at that and either look at changing the ordinance.
I think it needs to be a change in the ordinance. 'Cause it explicitly calls an accessory structure any type of standalone mechanical equipment. So,
Yeah, and I'm sure when we did that, we didn't anticipate generators.
right.
Okay.
Okay.
Anything else?
Range resources, there's an existing well pad in North Strabane. In fact, it's the well pad that has the well that comes under the lake that we currently have a lease. They're going to they're hoping to drill another well there, which would include the area around Robin Hood, over towards, as far as Giant Eagle. There's 8 acres of land the township owns. The question that Range has raised is whether or not we would be willing to enter into a lease agreement or expand our current lease agreement to include that property.
Are they
Of course,
made it-
would not want to do that.
I'd be willing.
Well, sure, but we're going to get a bonus payment, right?
Yes.
For the,
What was our current per acre?
18%, and I think it
Was it 3,500?
that was
It
around
was either 35, but it might have been,
More than that.
no, I think it might have been 5. I don't know. I'd have to check.
We got like 400 grand, I think.
yeah, but that was for the whole park.
Yeah, but yeah, that
Oh,
was.
was it? I thought it was just for.
So we're talking about 8 acres. Okay,
Yeah.
so we're talking
And
about,
where is this 8 acres?
No, it's the open spaces we own within the,
It's not contiguous, right?
No.
and that'll be just enough to pay for that emergency storm drain work Mark had to do last month.
We need to do this.
There you go, see?
Do you need us to make a,
it'll come back to you as a formal.
No, we rejected, right? I mean,
So the splash pad opened last week. There were 500 people each day since it's opened who have taken advantage of it. There's an article from the Almanac. They got 2 things right. One, that it's open to rave reviews, and there's a little boy quoted in there saying it's more fun than Kennywood. So I don't know that there's a higher standard you can get than that, but it's been extremely well received by the people there. So.
Yeah, last Wednesday I went to go over and see it with 2 of my daughters walking my dog, and Dave Brooks was there and showed me around. It's top notch.
Yes.
It's very impressive. Everyone was having a blast. It was great day.
Yeah, not only the splash pad itself, but the building that supports it has really done well too. And
It is, and we need to continue doing stuff in that park. I mean, it is really a gem over there. So, the courts, the dog park, this is tailored towards these young kids, but getting more of the teenagers involved in this park and stuff. So, we
Agreed.
really need to consider, strongly moving forward with the next phase here.
And that brings us to the next item under miscellaneous, which is the budget discussions. I have a tentative budget workshop dates. These are all Mondays, starting September 29th through the end of the year. So
The year comes around quick, doesn't it?
I didn't fill in beyond the month that you posted, but you've already
yeah, so that's all I
accessed
got.
it.
is there any items that anybody would like to have on the next agenda? Okay, seeing none. we have
One
an
thing
executive session.
before you end, Gary, Paul, I told you earlier, but I don't know if anybody else has been getting complaints about the dirt on Venetia Road as a result of that development over there.
I didn't get any.
Okay, I guess I'm the only one getting them then. But
Haven't
Paul, you
seen
said
my
you're going to
email.
send somebody else.
We're
to
going to
check it
go
out.
ahead and talk to them.
Okay.
All right,
that it?
executive session then?
No executive
Oh,
session.
good, perfect. We're adjourned.